All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to PreMarket Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter, my friend. How you doing?
Good morning, Carlos. I am great, actually. So, thank you for letting me join you here this morning, and good to hear that you're doing well.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, the pleasure is mine, my friend. Thank you for covering for Norm today. We appreciate it very, very much. Um, Guys, let's take a look at some of the stuff we had yesterday here. Let's go over to our list from yesterday. We had Roblox, Nvidia, Tesla, and Amazon. A little bit of an interesting day yesterday. Let's tap into Roblox here. We'll look at the 5 minute from yesterday. And it was very, very choppy, actually. I thought it was going to trade a lot better. But Roblox guy was really a mess yesterday. So here's the market open. It gave you no opportunities. It had dropped pretty good in the pre-market, but then from there, it just really just I mean, it became the previous day close like now, right, for yesterday, but it just wrapped itself around this 30, 33, 34, 33.40 and really did not do anything. So very, very choppy there. Nvidia, on the other hand, had a better trading day. Rough start, right, especially with this drop here, but it does settle down and give you a nice little trending down action, finds a base and back up. Again, not the best trading we've seen, especially recently out of these tickers. It seemed to just overall a lot of choppiness. Of course, Tesla trading very, very well, continues to do so. Beautiful start there. Does get toppy, not quite the double top you want to see, as this one goes a little bit higher than you would like. But you can see there how toppy it gets, and then the sell down to the VWAP and the continuation. So this traded very well, guys. They give you a nice V reversal as well. You can see that there, back to the VWAP and then some. So again, Tesla continues to impress here, but you do have to wait sometimes, right? Depending on your trading style, this might not be, this might not be the best time to get in. You might get stopped out a couple of times here. Story is saying, let's
Yes.
not speak about yesterday.
Uh,
It was tough.
well,
It
yeah,
was tough.
it was a tough and
Yeah.
choppy morning yesterday.
Yes, it
Check
was.
out Meta. Meta had a
Hmm.
good move, and Brian was able to take advantage of that at the open yesterday. So it was one that he was watching. That
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was nice. That was
the
very clean. Yep.
Yeah, pretty clean move and relatively clean. You can see, right, compared to the choppiness you were just seeing, a surprising upward day for Meta yesterday, but ended up being a pretty good trader.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, yes, it was a day. I mean, if you were watching the right stocks, you could have done well. But for the most part, it was very, very choppy. Amazon, same thing, guys. Here, just look. Although it looks nice now, right now. Okay, yeah, it was a nice downtrend. But if you were in here, I saw the price action very closely on this thing. Very difficult to trade because every pullback is just too much, right? Almost overlapping the previous one. So very difficult to trade this. So again, just a lot of chop. And here's Apple as well. Again, a lot of sideways action. We saw this with many, many tickers yesterday. Finally does break out, but the entire half of the day, first half of the day, it's just pure chop, guys, right? So very tough market. And if you look at the overall SPY, again, when this guy is not trending heavily in one direction, we saw that the day before. The day before, we had an incredible drop here, and this was very clean to trade. You had tons of opportunities. Yesterday, we had a little bit more of some sideways action instead of just trending in one direction. So again, that tickers are not in play on their own news, like Apple, Amazon, Nvidia. Our usual suspects are usually not going to do very well, and that is what we saw yesterday. So unlike Tesla, it's probably the only one that no matter what's going on, it's always doing its own thing, and it can give you some opportunities there.
Uh,
Our Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just take the opportunity to mention, the open is not the only time to trade. I took my very first trade of the year yesterday on, of course, AMD. I took my, what I call my 1 to 10 trade, and 10 minutes before the close, it had the signature that I was looking for right towards the close. You can see we got a nice little drop there. Not a big move compared to the rest of the day, but because you can manage your risk so tightly, I got
Yeah.
a great, multiple of my risk type reward to trade, and I was very happy with it. So a good way to start the year for me.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Wow, first share of the year. Yeah. So, and of course, it happens on AMD. How nice.
Of
Go
course.
figure. um, With that said, guys, our gap up list today is looking pretty extensive here. A couple of names that we're very familiar with. I see Google's on there. We'll go through that, and then we have only Nordstrom gapping down today, gapping down 7%. So we'll dive into that and see what's driving some of this moves this morning. But before we do that, let's get a quick market update. Peter, what's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, so not a lot happening in the markets today. The economic calendar you see on the screen, unfortunately, is from yesterday. Didn't have a chance to go in and update it with Norm being off. Today, there is the Philadelphia Fed that's speaking at 9, and existing home sales are expected to come out at 10. Really, neither of those are going to have an impact on the market direction. It's a Friday, which means volumes are typically a little lower, and you could expect to see a little more choppiness earlier in the day. So, it may be a relatively quiet day. But that being said, you just never know. But no big market news. What I'm seeing internationally, a little bit of positivity coming out of China. So I think that may be what's pushing the market up. Not, no big massive news. Just it's almost like the absence of negative news is allowing the market to float up a little bit. So we'll see where it goes. Chat in the trade room, I see that you're asking about a recorded webinar in the 110. I haven't done a webinar on it yet. In fact, we've released it to just those that were attending in Florida, sort of the grand release of that strategy. But I do talk about it if you're in the chat room in the close, and I've described it several times. Happy to do it again today if you happen to be there. So that'll be the best way to find out about it. Yeah, so I think, Carlos, we should start looking at those that are gapping up and see if we can find some specific news and some good
Yeah.
trading opportunities out of them.
Yep, absolutely. Let's go through this, guys, and see what we have here. Let me go ahead and type in my trade ideas. I noticed I did not do that. So we'll do that there. Perfect. And yeah, let's go through here, guys, and see what we got going on. Oh, I notice I'm missing something too. I'm missing my friends over on YouTube. So let me bring that chat over. Let's see what's going on here. Bring our friends from YouTube. And if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We appreciate it very much. Just going to bring this chat here so I can communicate with our friends there as we finish this week here on this Friday. So let's go ahead and bring this here. There we go. All right, 1 second, guys. All right.
While Carlos is doing that, I will mention we're slowly starting into earnings season. So we're starting to see a few companies come out. Last night, I think the news was all about Netflix. Netflix, after some negative news the last few quarters, had some positive returns, and we saw, oh my goodness, we saw what, a $25 move as the after the close. So it was jumping around quite a bit. I know a couple of members said that they were trading it, managed to take advantage of that. It's too crazy for me. I can't possibly do that, but we're gapping up quite a bit this morning. So yeah, looking at the earnings calendar, nothing really big coming out this morning. So I actually don't see anything on the gappers list that's earnings related. So we may run across a couple, but nothing that
I think Netflix is the only one that I see on the gap up list. Next week, I think the week after, next week we got a couple of names. We got some time to go through this because our list is not that long, but we got a couple of names that might be interesting. But the following week is when we start getting a lot of the stuff that we love to trade here. We got Apple, we have Google, which Google's moving up today on some news as well. You got Amazon, you got some really big names, of course. This guy right here, which I'm sure you'll be all
Thank
over.
you for the mention.
Meta, McDonald's. There's tons of stuff happening the following week. It's going to get pretty nice. So be on the lookout for that. All right, guys, let's get to our gap up list this morning. I'm going to go ahead and remove everything from yesterday. Control A, Control X does that for us on Dash Trader Pro. And we're going to go ahead and click here on Ally, ALLY this morning. And they are up 9.6. We've seen this before, I could tell, because we have levels here. So we definitely kept it on the list. It was good enough for us to do levels on it. Must have been a day they gapped down. Probably was here. They seem to have some increase in volume. This morning, up 9.6, 440,000 shares traded. Peter, any good news on this worth watching?
I don't typically watch these credit companies, the financial services, because once the market opens, they tend to not move very well. They did actually, I guess this is earnings. They did have fourth quarter results, which were generally positive. But and the price action, I don't know. Pre-market looks okay to me, but like I said, I find once the market opens, it's not they don't trade very well. So if you're interested, it's earnings.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Again, not usually when we watch 100, it just doesn't trade very well. Today could be a difference maker. The fact that they have news, we'll put them as a possible for now, but might not even stay there. Let's see what else this list has to offer here as we move forward. Heading down to W today. W right now, Wayfair. Again, we watch this thing once in a while. It pops up on our list. Doesn't trade very well. Very light volume. You can tell here in the daily too how much volume they're getting, usually around not hitting above 6 million shares traded. Not sure if they have earnings maybe today. No, they don't. That's not
No,
today.
they had a couple of pieces of news. They are it's sort of surprising to see them gapping up, but I guess from an economic point of view, it's positive. So they've announced they're expecting savings in the next quarter, which would improve their forecast, largely as a result of the fact that they're laying off a bunch of people. So
Yeah.
it's not huge. Well, it's about 10% of their workforce, 1,700 people they're planning to lay off. So they're saying those layoffs will result in positive earnings. So not good for the workers, I guess, but good for those that are investors.
Yep, yep, and we're seeing that here. I think Google as well is another one that I saw a headline on that they're laying off a couple of thousand employees as well, and they're gapping up today pretty big, 3.2, and their earnings is not until the following week when we have those big names coming out. So, yeah, that news seems to at times create a positive gap here. So. Google and Wayfair on that news. Wayfair, I'm not a big fan of, guys. I'm not gonna add that on there. So I'll leave it off the list for now. They do have a reasonable high short interest there at 34%. Again, I hope we can find something better on this. EDU's Chinese Education Company. Again, I don't trade that one. A couple of Chinese tickers on here. We have Billy, we have Futu, all gapping up this morning. Billy gapping up 4.4. Futu is gapping up 3.8. We have XBEV on here. Uh, I'm not seeing them great though. I don't see nothing explosive on these, especially I wouldn't trade FU2U a Futsu here, but I would trade Billy, and I don't see anything great on Billy as far as volume. So skipping on all of those for now. Netflix, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, you're mentioning like a bunch of them, as you say, they're gapping up a little bit. Like I mentioned, we're seeing a little bit of positive news out of China. Again, it
Mhm.
was nothing really, really big. I find it interesting that it's almost like if China's not announcing something negative, it's an excuse for the market to go up a little bit. Um,
Agree,
but
agreed.
but really it's just general feeling of positivity. I was reading a couple of articles earlier this morning where they're just saying they think there's opportunity for growth coming out of China coming forward. If I don't know if earlier this week they were announcing that for the first time the birth rates in China were low enough that they actually are looking at a population reduction out of China, which I thought might start to depress things, but the market seemed to have ignored that news altogether. So anyways, yeah, I think we'll find a couple of these names that might get some action, like they typically do on Fridays. Actually, Baba, Billy, PDD. I find that those tend to be okay traders on average on Friday. So if you like trading that sector, keep an eye on them.
Yeah. The one that I like the most out of all those tickers overseas is Baba. Baba is probably the cleanest one. And man, this thing's been on a tear, guys. It was been pretty strong. It was actually pretty decent yesterday. Didn't give you the best move, but today they're gapping up again. I mean, it's just continue to find a way to break new highs here ever since November. So they're slightly above, gapping up above this range here that they've been stuck in at up 1.6 this morning with okay volume for the time that it is right now, 284. So we'll definitely keep an eye on these guys. They're not on our gap up list yet because they're not above 2%, but they do look pretty good this morning so far. Here we do have Mara, we do have Coin. Again, I've been avoiding these because the few times I put them on the list, they don't trade very well. But they're up 2.5 here. Mara has been horrible. It is up 3.3 this morning. Again, lower price as well for Mara, under $10, $20. Just, different style of trading. If anything is going to be good, it's probably going to be Coin, the one I would look at. But their volume is extremely light right now. So maybe things need to pick up a little bit there. Not sure if there's any news over on Bitcoin. I mean, this guy's been beat up quite a bit. So, like you said, any positive or no negative news is good news, right? For these guys getting a little bit of love this morning. Um, let's see what else we have here, guys. So we have IQ, which also is Chinese ticker as well. You can look at that, man. $5 stock. I remember trading this a ton back when it was much higher than this. So this is yeah, it's 20 and above here. So man, $5 stock now. And then Google. Peter, I know this. They laid off people. Is there anything else, or they're talking about layoffs? Is there anything else popping them up this morning?
No, that seems to be the main news. That 6% of their workforce, about 12,000 people, they plan to lay off. That's probably going to be accomplished largely through attrition, or not filling open roles. Typically that's the way companies do it. So I don't expect a bunch of people suddenly to be fired. I think this fits into the general narrative of the market, right? Like I said, general positivity today. This Google announcement, some of the layoffs at Wayfair and others are generally getting that feel that the market is like, you'd think layoffs would be a negative thing, but from an earnings perspective, that
Right.
can be good because it helps support the bottom line. But I think in the broader context, if the Fed has been saying that they want to see a higher unemployment rate in the U.S., and being that the fact that there's going to be these layoffs is sort of leading towards that number, which means the Fed is less likely to continue to increase rates, which the market generally likes. So, I think if we sort of step back and look, you may see some money start to filter back in. Again, if earnings are generally positive, combined with this narrative of a little bit of tightening on the economic front, we'll see. I think we'll see some a little bit of buoyancy in the market. Oh man, I feel like I'm on like TV now. I'm using all of the BS bingo catchwords. But
Using the
anyways,
catch lingo words, yes.
I know a little bit of buoyancy in the market as we see positivity. Anyways, but really, I think that's sort of what we're going to see, and I hope so, because I like to trade the semiconductors and the tech sector, and it needs that positive news to float up. So, but anyways, that's what's happening with Google.
Yeah, cool, man. So fun. It reminds me of when I used to work in a corporate office, right, in a corporate environment. You hit those keywords, you start talking about KPIs and all these other keywords that
That's
the
right.
managers love to hear.
Yeah, we're going to get synergies across the
Oh,
the, the,
that's the
the
good ones.
divisional
They love
entities.
that one. All right, my friends, let's continue here. So the issue with Google is sometimes not a great trader. So at times that can be an issue. I think they are in play today. I mean, they got good volume, 1.4 million, up 3%. There's two tickers here, by the way. They're both different share class. I think the better one is the one with the L. The Google L, I think, tends to trade a little bit better, has more volume. So that's the one I'll watch here. I'm gonna go. We'll put it on our list today. Normally we don't, but today could be a good day. 1.4 million, up 3% this morning. Expert, we took a look at already. Again, no volume right now for how they trade. JD, again, a lot of Chinese tickers coming up. JD coming up here. A firm, not doing a whole lot right now. And then we looked at coin already. Okay, excellent. Um, Gapping down. Nordstrom is the only one on this list, and they don't trade all that well. Do they have anything going on? What's the news on these guys? Reason for the gap down
And
today?
Nordstrom's, I don't know. I didn't really see. I don't think they had earnings, at least not that I saw.
No, not today. No.
They did yesterday. I think it was either just before or just after the close. They did reduce their outlook for the next quarter, so that could be what's pushing them, or likely is what's pushing them down right now. As soon as you cut your outlook, never seen as a good result. And then Matthew's confirming, yeah, that they had poor holiday numbers. So I don't think they actually released earnings, but they did say that the holiday numbers are down. So, but anyway, either way, yeah, that's causing Nordstrom to drag here a little bit. So, which may, by the way, people may see it as a precursor to some of the other retail as they start to announce and we hear the results from the holidays.
Yeah. Again, guys, few retail tickers that I do not like. Nordstrom is one of them. Foot Locker is another that trades horrible. There's just, oh man, I don't think I ever made money on Foot Locker ever, ever. So I just
It's
avoid
funny
these.
because I get suckered every quarter with
I
earnings on
know.
some of these because
Yeah,
yeah, you like Foot Locker's one that usually looks good pre-market and then it's
it's
terrible.
horrible,
For some
horrible.
reason, Walmart doesn't like me. I just don't trade Walmart very well, and then I get suckered into watching the Home Depot and
Uh, yeah,
what's the other one in that sector that
Lowe's,
what's that?
Lowe's is it Lowe's?
Lowe's, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Home Depot and Lowe's, I get suckered into watching them every time, and I think they're gonna do something great, and it's usually, like, they're spready, and I can't predict them, and then, it just never works out, so I'm like, "Why do I do it?" But every quarter, I end up doing it again.
Foot
Target,
Locker.
wrong thing. Yeah, Target's another one. Target had, like it had 6 months of moving really well over the pandemic. Remember where it shot up, and then it was moving really well, and
Right,
that
right.
was it. That was, like, its moment, and
Yeah,
it seems like
yeah.
it's gone back to its terrible ways ever since.
Yeah, Foot Locker has gotten, like you said, every quarter. I feel like okay, something's gonna happen here. It looks good, and it always gets me. Never does well. So, I just stay away from it. Same with Nordstrom this morning, guys. Gapping down, but just nothing to see there. I forgot to look at Netflix. Somehow I skipped over this because I think this gappers list is kind of bouncing around a little bit. So as I was scrolling down, I saw names jumping into different locations here. But here's Netflix in play for sure, guys. Obviously, earnings last night it did very well. Today they're gapping up 6.1 and 730,000 shares traded, which is actually good volume for these guys. Anything else I missed on this one, Peter, that we can add?
No, I mean that's the basic news. I find it interesting that so they did what they said they were going to do. Really, the numbers aren't exceptional, but because their subscriber base was up, when everybody thought that their plan of selling these low cost memberships, where they were including ads, right? You could pay a lower fee if you're willing to accept ads.
Hmm.
Was a terrible one. They're showing that their subscriber base has increased. So everybody's like, oh, look, it's actually working. So it looks like they're being rewarded for it. So
Yeah, yeah, very, very nice. And it works both ways, right? Because then they also can they'll get revenue from the companies that are doing the ads. So it's a win-win for them.
they are getting some positive buzz as people are saying the CEO has changed, is changing out. At least that was one of the news articles. I think the other thing, the analysts are surprised at their ability to retain. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. To retain their position in the market with all of these new competitors. The expectation was Netflix was going to see a hit, drop in subscribers and reduced revenue, but they seem to be not only holding their own but actually growing their subscriber base. And they do keep producing things, whether you like them or not.
Yeah,
They've got a
yeah.
ton of content that keeps coming out. So
Yeah, I saw an ad from them from other stuff they're planning to release this year, and it seemed like some pretty good ones in there. So yeah, looks good. All right, guys, let's take a look here. We have Netflix. We have what else? Okay, we looked at everything on our gap up list. Let's take it to the room. We'll start with you, Peter. What do you like so far this morning that's not already on this list?
we've pretty much mentioned everything that I'm looking at. The only thing that I might want to keep an eye on is generally the airline sector. They had some movement earlier this week. Didn't actually do much yesterday, but I might keep an eye on American Airlines or United Airlines just to see if we get some move on a Friday. But right now they're not looking good at all. But
Yeah, yeah,
everything
pretty
else,
pretty quiet right now.
stick to the usual. Yeah.
I mean, they had such a big move the last, I mean, all month really. They've been just on a tear, especially United. You can see here the move they had up or the start beginning of the year on this would have been Wednesday, right? So it's Friday, Wednesday. Look at the drop they had Wednesday, right? So again, just they've been moving pretty wild. So I agree with you there. American Airlines, same thing. They've been having some really crazy moves here, as they're trying to bounce back. So we'll add American Airlines and United for now. I'll decide which one we'll keep here. Actually, they're more of a passo. Meant to add them here. More of a passo for now. We need to wait to see if they get any volume and start moving. All right, let's take a look at the chat, guys. See what you guys like today. I see Meta in a few places over here, so let's take a look at Meta. A couple of you guys throwing that one out today. We talked about it earlier, and as far as Brian trading this one, could be interesting, guys. Daily does look good. Volume is okay at 195,000, pretty much flat right now. Was in the green and now dropping a bit here, so kind of getting back into this range that it has been stuck in, struggling to get above this 137 46, which is right here. You can see how many times we tested that over the last, what, 5 6 days. Just cannot get above that. Even on the gap downs, we've been pushing higher, trying to get going, but has struggled there. So hitting resistance again in the pre-market right now. Yeah, I think this is worth looking at. It's worth looking at. We'll see where it goes there. Earnings for these guys is going to be 2 weeks from now, so I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun to see how they're doing. It's in next week. No, it's the following week, George. I think it's the following week, if I'm not mistaken. All right, what else, guys? So we have that one. Let's take a look at AZN. Pablo is giving us AZN over on YouTube. I don't think this trades very well. Yeah, this is I stay away from this. We've seen this plenty of times. It's very gappy, very, very light volume for the way that it moves. 1.1 million right now. It's down 1.7. But again, just be careful on this one. It's not a great intraday trader. Um, GN, yeah.
Ross in the chat room is mentioning GNS. If you could
hmm
give me your patented response to it.
GNS. Oh man, what is this? Low float? What are we doing here?
It is 10 million shares.
I don't know, man. For me,
That,
this is careful on
that,
this one, guys.
that-
Careful.
that's what Stoyan and Pinot are ahead of you on it. That's what I'm looking for. Come on.
Ah, you were looking for the no, 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 no. Yeah, this is. I was trying to be nice to our friend there, Ross, but no, yeah, this is no, 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 no,
You know,
across the board.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's some.
yeah.
It is a low float. There's news on it today that they're appointing a former FBI director to investigate some what they believe is illegal trading of their stock. Interesting that they, as a company, are investigating illegal trading of their own stock, which means it really has no teeth behind it. But I like how that pops the stock from 52 cents to $4. So
That is
if you like low
just yeah.
floats, this might be the one of the day. It's topping the list right now on volume and movement, but it's not the type of thing I like to trade.
Yeah, again, guys, you gotta have experience if you're doing this. I mean, it's a whole different animal. I'm staying away from it. Just be careful. I know we say it almost every show, but it never gets tiring to tell you that because man, the amount of traders that touch this and lose money, because it looks good, right? Want to get in here and hopefully get a 10% of this move, right? It's up 112 right now. It's just tough. Be very, very careful. Um, what else, guys? Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's going to be on our list. No question. Tesla is been just on a tear. I find it hard to trade. I'll be honest. Although it is in play, I find this ticker a little bit more difficult to trade than others. I think it's just because the pullbacks at time are too aggressive. But it's when it trades well, it can do pretty good as far as daily intraday. But today in play, every day's been in play, guys. 2 million shares traded right now, up 1.6. Trying to get this bounce going, right? As low as the 101 and just trying to stay away from that as much as possible. It has been doing okay as far as trying to get a bounce going here. So we'll see if that can maintain that. So yeah, Tesla is good. What else we have, guys? SLB. What is the SLB? Is that a ticker ETF? What is this? Oh
Yeah,
man, this is
Schlumberger.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Schlumberger.
That's another no, 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 no there, guys. This trade's horrible. Very light value. It is foreign as well. It's just so many no's on this one. Yeah, so not a fan on it. Did they have earnings? Is that what it is? Sam says it has earnings. So earnings today pre-market, and it still looks man, it still looks bad. Yeah, so I'm not a fan
They're,
at
they're
all.
yeah, they're based out of New York, I thought, but they just sound foreign.
Yeah. Oh, they are. Oh, I thought they were
Yeah,
foreign. Oh man, that's how bad they are. Yeah, yeah, no, no, horrible, horrible.
Nevada or something. I don't know where they are, but
Oh, they are. I thought
anyways,
they were foreign. Yeah. Okay. No, no
yeah,
good. All right, guys. A few more here. Then we get to announcements. We have Apple. Yes, Apple, one of our usual suspects. Which again, a lot of our usual suspects yesterday traded horrible. Just very, very choppy. Apple this morning doesn't have anything explosive, man. Pretty flat right now. So I don't see anything great, but we know we're going to be keeping an eye on the overall market, right? The spies, if they start moving and doing something, the cues, we can tune into an app or something. But right now, man, they just don't look good. Because the spy doesn't look good. It's pretty much flat right now. So they don't have their own news. A lot of these stuff that we have on deck here, Tesla, Netflix, even Google today, has their own thing going on. So they're looking a little bit better than most of our usual suspects at the moment. So Apple as a possible, just so we don't forget about it. But for the most part, it's not really doing anything. Let's check Nvidia. Same thing, pretty flat right now, no volume. Let's check our buddy AMD. Again, all of our usual suspects just flat at the moment. Let it build up, and then we're getting some good action. Disney pretty much flat as well, guys. I'm not seeing anything there. Pre-market earnings today, or we'll say last night. No, pre-market today, and yeah, it's just nothing happening. Just pretty flat. So, all right, let's get to our company community events and announcements. We'll come back and fine tune this list and see what else is coming up that we might have an interest in looking at.
All right. Well, first, let me say I have been off since the holidays last year. My son got married; it was exciting, but unfortunately, on the way back, my daughter got very sick, and what we thought was a cold turned into a very serious strep A blood infection, and she almost died. So, I just want to say I so appreciate this community is fantastic. So much outreach of support and well wishes. It's just great to know that everybody's out there and supporting us, even when we need it. So thank you everybody for everything that you did and all the support, and thank you to the team for covering and supporting me while I just needed to spend time with my family. So good news. Look, she's making a full recovery. She's young. She's only 23, so she's bouncing back very quickly from it. Thank
Nice,
God for the
nice.
good doctors and medical staff that identified it quickly and brought her back. She was in full organ failure, and again, we thought she had a cold. It was serious. So it was
Wow,
terrifying couple
wow.
of weeks, let me tell you.
I
But
bet, man. Glad everything's
indeed,
okay, man, and we're glad to have you back, and glad that she's doing a full recovery, man. That's amazing,
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. She may have some permanent scarring on her lungs as a result of the double bronchitis and the pneumonia that occurred. But anyways, she should be able to overcome that. So, anyways, that being said, there's always events going on in the community, and things continue, right? And I'm very happy to get back to sort of the regular schedules. And regularly in the room we have events Monday through Thursday. Mondays are always about onboarding, bringing on those that might have joined us new or want a refresher on the room. So if you want to join Carlos in the onboarding, put it in your calendar for this coming Monday. It's at 8 o'clock in our classroom, and it sort of gives you an overview of what we're about and an introduction to the trading basics. Tuesdays, then we start to focus on strategy. We had a good strategy session this week. Next week, we can look forward to. So this week was with Thor. Next week, we can look forward to Paris doing, I think, one of his first. I don't know if he's done another formal webinar. If not, this will be his first. But on reading the tape, he has shown us he's sort of been new moderating in the room and has been showing us how he trades every day. Ton of volume, lots of ins and outs, but man, he makes it work every single morning, and it's great to see his perspective on the market because he's got a different approach, but one that works extraordinarily well. So join us on Tuesday, the 24th at 8 o'clock in the webinar room for that. Wednesday is all about psychology. This week, Mike talked to us about how identifying, your relationship to money. Next week, we're going to continue on that theme with Randy Howell, who's going to be joining us 8 o'clock on the 25th to talk about how you manage your emotions and keep control of them when you're trading live money. So hope you join us on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. These are all, by the way, Eastern Time, which is market time for our webinars. Thursdays are all about mentorship. Yesterday, John did a great session in the webinar room. I was able to join him for that at 11 o'clock. He does it every Thursday at 11. Great little mentorship session, a chance to ask questions and actively participate. So join him for that. And then last night, as we do every Thursday night, it's Thursday with the mentorship that happens once again in the webinar room at 8 o'clock, our regular time. Fridays, we take a break, so we got nothing today scheduled and nothing regularly on a Friday. hopefully you will take advantage, no matter what day of the week it is, to visit Trading Terminal. We are constantly adding new features and new information. It's got some great stuff in there. Not only do we have regular sort of market analysis, news, and information, we've got earnings. We've actually have opinion pieces and insider information about what's happening that may affect stocks that you like to watch. So take a look at that. It's also linked up to our Twitter account, and you can get great information between the Trading Terminal and its Twitter link up. One of the features we've incorporated into it is our simulator and our real-time, well, near real-time simulator. It's about a day behind, but it can give you access to sort of replays of the market for any stock on any day. So if you want to practice trading, if you want to sort of see how the stock actually got to the chart that you may be seeing in hindsight, go back and run it through the simulator, and you can compare it to any other chart. It's a great tool, and you can actually sort of take trades against it and use it as a part of your practice and perfection of your trading strategy. So check out the trading simulator. The other thing that we do in the community is we always have events upcoming, and our next event is going to be in San Diego. I love San Diego. I may try and coordinate a mountain bike thing, I think, because our session is during the week. It's a Thursday, Friday, March the 2nd and 3rd, and it's going to be great. We not only have our regular sort of slate of activities, but this time we decided also, because we noticed in the last one in Florida, so many people brought their spouses or family. We said, maybe we'll do a social event, like a scheduled formal social event. So we've got a dinner that's happening that first night. If you wanted to bring other people, it doesn't matter who they are, they can join just for that social. There's a separate ticket, a lower price ticket for that if they just want to join, because they support you in your trading, but they themselves are not interested in the webinars. We get that. My wife would fall into that category. So you have that opportunity. Check it out on our website. You can get all the information. Scott Ward, who's a trader in the room here, and gave us an impromptu, I don't even know what to call it, man. It was mind-blowing. It was just a mind-blowing sort of magic
Nice.
session. Anyways, he's going to be performing for us in San Diego, and it's going to be awesome, man. So not only are we going to educate you, we're going to entertain you at the same time. So hopefully you'll consider joining us in San Diego if you're near there or want to be near there. And if you want to join us in the room on a more permanent basis, hopefully you will consider one of our membership levels. To get started, we always have our intro. If you're attending here, you can get that discounted price of $34. Use the code PreMarket34 to get that 1 week access. It'll give you a feel for what the community's like. There are lots of communities out there, and we understand that not every community is for every trader, but we got a ton of information. We've got great people, like I was talking about earlier, and just a great environment to trade against and learn in. So hopefully you'll join us and try it out. If you want to join us for one of the elite sort of levels, then we suggest you try the elite annual membership, because right now we got 50% off that annual price. Use the code winter50 and you can get that 50% discount off of the regular price. With that, we've got some levels to set and a market to attend to coming up in about 18 minutes. So thank you again, everybody, for letting me be here. Replace Carlos. Thank you again. Replace Norm, and for all the support that you've shown me. So with that, Carlos, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate it very much, man. Guys, let's get to it. So GNS here is pushing much higher, as you can see, breaking through 4, hitting 5+. So again, guys, careful if you're trading this one. That is the low flow of the day for sure. But again, just be very, very careful. All right, on our list today, someone asked, good question here on our YouTube chat. The sim does have the VWAP indicator. So yeah, that is on it. Just got to make sure you enable it. But yeah, that's one of the indicators that we love. So yeah, the VWAP is one that we make sure that indicator was available to you guys in the simulator, so you can get that. All right, guys, let's do levels. We have Baba, we have Google, we have Netflix, Meta, and Tesla. Just these 5 for now. I got a couple of some ones over here that look decent. We'll do levels for coin, as it was requested we do that. So we'll do levels for coin just to have them ready. But it won't be on my main list. But yeah, let's get to it. Guys, Baba, pretty simple right now. I mean, we're just slightly above this area that we've been struggling to get above at the moment. We haven't really left yet, right? We haven't broken out to extend it at the moment. But we are gapping up 1.5, and Baba has been really, really good, very, very strong, kind of doing his own thing. Even with the other Chinese tickers were kind of selling down and not really pushing higher, Baba was doing his own thing there. So again, good to see that from these guys. Let's see if they can trade well today. Right now, pretty much flat, but this is typical Baba pre-market activity, right? You get this gap up and then it'll just go sideways for a while at the market open. We'll see which direction it wants to pick. And if it's not choppy, hopefully we can have some opportunities. I have 117.65, 118.61 towards the top. That covers your high and low of the pre-market. Towards the bottom, guys, highs and lows for the last two trading days. Previous day close showing that the top of the range of this resistance area. So you're set there. Let's go to the left. Let's get something above 118.61, which is our high of our pre-market. We're going to go over to June, July timeframes. The last time we were up here, we're looking at 120.34. We got something happening here at 122.48. Not a big level, but you got the big one here at 125.77. So a couple of stuff towards the top there. You're pretty much set on Baba. This one can go either way right now, guys. I know it is up 1.5. But it can go either way. It can slam down from here back into this range, or if we're really going to be strong, we can get a nice little breakout here. So we'll see if that can actually take place. Guys, I don't normally trade Google, but today they look very good. They're very attractive with this pre-market activity of 1.6. Again, news of a layoff, which usually the market does like because you do save some money, right? The company is cutting down on operating costs. I mean, 12,000 employees. That's a whole lot of payroll that they're getting rid of there if they actually go through with it. Again, it's just a memo right now. Hasn't really happened yet. But the market's loving it. 96.65 is the high of the pre-market. I like this level here too between the low and the high of the pre-market. 95.34. That's a good one there. So we'll put a level there. And then towards the bottom, we have plenty highs and lows for the last two trading days between 93.50 looks like, and all the way down to 90.60. So plenty of levels there. You're all set. I do want to have something towards the top here. So let's go ahead and zoom in November, December. We do have a daily level here. This is a nice one. We'll slam a level there, 98.55, and then up here, guys, at 101.15 looks good as well. So daily looks very nice here. Again, normally they don't trade very well. They just Google's just a little funky. Even after their split, it's kind of like they still had their DNA for when they were trading. They used to call this this stock was what? Was it 1,000 something, maybe 2,000? I don't remember what the price was.
Yeah, it was
It
around
was up there.
1,800 bucks for a long time.
It was up there, yes. We used to call them one of the mortgage tickers, like Amazon. Amazon was also up there as well. Reasonable price now, but still, it still got that DNA where it doesn't trade as clean as Amazon. Completely changed, by the way. Amazon is an amazing trader, has made our usual suspects list. So you're set there on Google, guys. Do not need to add anything else. Looking pretty good there. Let's head over to Netflix. Netflix with earnings last night up 6.1 this morning, 865,000. High of the pre-market 339. We'll slam a level there, and then towards the bottom 332.67. Below this, guys, tons of levels, highs and lows for the last two trading days. You're pretty much set there. Let's get at least two levels towards the top. And you guys remember when's the last time we were here, because we had the big event, this huge drop that was just insane. And you had the rundown. I mean, this thing just kept going, right? But that was the last time we were around here. So slowly closing this gap, which we kind of did, right? Where our price action has closed this gap down that we had. As far as the daily, we do have a level at 350. That's going to be a good one. And then over here, I don't see anything gray above that. That's 350 there. Let's see. Oh, this right here. Right here, 359.53. Yeah, we'll slam a level there. Got a couple of touches there as well, going back to March, April. Again, it's been a while. Last time we were up here, but Netflix has really changed things up there. Whatever they're doing is working. They're seeing some nice movement towards the top here, and earnings giving them a little bit of a pop this morning. Let's go to Meta. Meta stuck between this range right now. The last 5 days just has not been able to get above that. Could be interesting today. Again, not my favorite ticker on the list, but we'll see. We'll see what it does. Low of the pre-market, 135.73. Your high of your pre-market is pretty much this area where we just keep getting rejected. And this is going to be 137.24. The pre-market high is actually slightly a little bit lower than that, but this is the area that you're looking for, this level of resistance that we have not been able to break out of. Once you put that level on there, the next one towards the bottom is going to be 134.20. So that is set there. And then one more level towards the top in case we do decide to come back and get going and break that 134.70. Doesn't look like it's going to happen today. You're going to need a whole lot of power to do that. 139.63 is another level we have up here on the daily, just in case we break out of that. Again, it's Friday. Could happen. We'll have to see. And our explosive stock that we are looking at every day is Tesla. Again, tough to trade, but when it's trending in the right direction or any direction, really, but up or down, it can be very good. 129.75 is the high of the pre-market at the moment. The low of the pre-market all the way down at 128.25. And again, which is kind of stuck within all these highs and lows of the last two trading days. Once you put the high and the low of the pre-market, you really do not have to add anything else. The only thing I will add is something between maybe here, between 136.50 and the pre-market high now. So let's go to the left. Do we have anything? The only thing we have is just this right here, this 131. So there's not a whole lot on there. What you could do is you can go into the intraday action here. We're not going to do that for the sake of time and pick some levels off of this, but we'll keep 131.42 for now. As far as levels, and then we'll do coin here again. Coins on my secondary list, but we'll do levels for it. I mean, right now you're stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days, so not a whole lot happening there. Towards the top, the only level I see here is 54.16. That's a good one. Then you got your high all the way up here on 57. Looks like 57.30. Let's go to the left. Do we have anything in between here? Another good level here, guys, 52.60. That's a minor area of support and resistance, not a major level like we see here, like this previous day close, this here, this 50.91, also a good level, got a lot of touches there. But again, 52.68 might be worth having there also. All right, guys, that is our levels 920. Hit that thumbs up over on YouTube if we haven't done so. We're trying to get above 200. Actually, our goal today was 250, right? We did 200 yesterday, which I appreciated very, very much. If we could get to 250 today, that would be greatly appreciated as we get into our Friday trading. As you guys are hitting that thumbs up, I'm going to bring over our moderators list and see what's going on there. I see we have Brian, we have Susan, Megan. Everybody's on deck here. We even have Peter with his list. Let's bring that over. So resize this and see what our moderators like this morning. Bring this over here. Here we go. All right. All right, moderators list, guys. Here it is. Let's start with Mike. Mike's looking at Meta and Netflix. Jared, Netflix, Google, Meta. Secondary list, GNX, low flow, guys. Be careful. And then he has Boyo as well. IPOs for today, CVKD and QSG. Peter's list, your list, you're looking at AMD, Google, Netflix, Meta, Tesla, Apple. I'm sorry, not Apple, American Airlines and Baba. And then Brian's list, we'll be looking at NVIDIA, Google, Meta, Netflix, GNS for fun. That is the low flow of the day. That's just ripping at the moment. And then Susan looking at NVIDIA, Baba, Coin. Her secondary list is United, American Airlines, Tesla, the overall market, and Netflix. And Megan, Netflix, Google, and Tesla. So there it is, my friends. We are all set to get going here. Brian and Andrew are up next. Peter, thank you so much for joining me this morning covering for Norm.
Pleasure.
And guys over on YouTube, have an amazing day. Oh, we're just at 200, 199 there. Can we get to 250? Can we get 50 more? That might be a push, right? For a Friday. Jason, thank you. I appreciate the support very, very much over on YouTube. Thank you, guys. Let's take a look at one more thing here, GNS, before we head out. Yeah, man, GNS is on fire. What's the news on this, Peter, again?
They announced that there's a former FBI director that's going to be leading an internal probe into suspected illegal short selling. So again, because it's a company-based review, it's not like it has any market force behind it, but it's when you've got a 52-cent stock, it doesn't take much with a 10 million share float. It doesn't take much to pop it up.
Yeah, I can see that there. All right, guys. Have a great, great weekend. Remember, today's Friday. Trade safe out there. Be patient. We will get our moves, but again, it doesn't have to be in the first 15, 20, 30 minutes or even an hour. So save the ammo if things are going to happen a little bit later in the day. Take care and trade safe.
Take care, everyone. Have a good one.